let's go over the entire cast and see my opinion on how likely I think it is for them to get into Tekken 8. Okay, so Kunimitsu, I don't know if I would put her very high because she was such a late addition to this game and she has like no impact on the story really. So I feel like she's not the highest to get added in. I feel like if she gets added in, it might be later, like much like this game is going to be later on. Same thing with Ganryu. I'm surprised he got into this game. Like, I'm like, who wants him? Like, who's clamoring for Ganryu? Again, if he does get put in, I think it's going to be later on. You don't think too many different characters that could bring back outside of the clone characters? Yeah, Tekken has a weird thing with clone characters. Like, every fighting game has their clone characters, or as some people like to call them, echo fighters. But that's a whole other can of worms. Zafina's already in it, so we already know that. Julia, so... I mean, she doesn't seem to have much to do with the main story, which is weird because she used to. She used to, like, be investigating the Mishima Zaibatsu and everything. Oh, shoot, hold on. My phone's going off. Sorry about that. Okay. So yeah, she used to kind of have this thing going on, but now she seems to be just doing the influencer thing, so I don't know if that's even part of the story anymore. So I feel like, I'm not sure. I feel like she is a bit of a fan favorite, so she might get in. But I feel like there are other characters that might get in first. Marduk. It's weird because his storyline is tied to Armor King, kind of, and it seems like he needs to be in for Marduk to be in. Like, King will always be there, but Marduk was also DLC in this one, so it's like, I don't know. I mean, the real reason I think he was so late was because Gigas was in this game, and he's kind of like Marduk, like very similar. A lot of people thought he was Marduk, but I don't know. It's always possible, though, because he's kind of a legacy character. He's been in the game ever since, like, Tekken 4, so it's possible, but I'm not sure if a ton of people are clamoring for him. Anna, I feel like she's definitely going to get in. She's a huge fan favorite, and a lot of people like her, so I think she's a shoo-in. The question is when. You know, that's really up to them, but I do believe she's a shoo-in. Especially with Nina. If Nina's there, Anna has to be there. I don't think Aliza's ever getting in again. Like, she's not... I don't even know if she's canon. Like I said in my last video, I don't even know if she's technically canon. The games almost act like she isn't. So I don't think she's going to come back. I feel like Lei is a shoo-in too. Lee's a huge fan favorite, and he's a legacy character. He's been in the game a very long time, so I feel like he's a shoo-in. It's just a matter of when, just like Anna. Armor King, he's a bit of a wild card if you ask me. Because he's kind of like King, it almost feels like he doesn't need to be there. He's not a clone because he has different moves and stuff like that, but it's the same kind of style. But he is a fan favorite because of his look. But I'm not... So I feel like he has a decent shot of getting in. Okay, Leroy's in there. I'm not sure if this guy's going to come back. He was a DLC character. He has no story relevance to anything. I'm not sure how popular he is. A lot of people would prefer Bruce. A lot of people want Bruce back. So I think they should put him in instead of this guy. And same thing with Lydia. She has no story relevance, really, and she was the last character added here, so I have no idea how the fandom really reacted to her. She doesn't really seem to be a huge fan favorite or anything, so I don't know if she's going to come back in. I wouldn't put money on it, but you never know. Okay, well, we already have Raven, so that's the thing. Nina's in, Yoshimitsu's in, Dragunov's in, Holrong's in, Law's in, Shahim's in. Akuma's obviously not going to come back because he's a Street Fighter character. Kazuya. Oh, Heihachi. I say he's coming back. Maybe not in Tekken 8, but he's coming back one day. I feel like... I mean, in the beginning of the story of the next game, they say he's missing. They don't even say he's dead. So I'm like, that's a huge giveaway if you ask me. I'll say this. My bet is if he comes back in Tekken 8, he's going to be the last character revealed. It's going to be a big surprise, like, hey, look who's back. But that's assuming they do. I feel like if it was me, I wouldn't put him in Tekken 8. I would wait for another game to bring him back. Like, that's going to be a huge hook. So yeah, I say He's not getting in, but if he does, he's going to be the last character. Kazumi, I don't think she's ever coming back. She's dead, you know? She has no reason to come back, and now that Jun's back, I really don't see her coming back. If they ever do Tekken Tag 3, then they can bring everybody back, then yeah, sure, they can bring her back, but I feel like story-wise, she has no reason to be in there, so the only possibility she would have of coming back is for fan service, but I'm not sure how popular she actually was. I don't think Lucky Chloe's coming back. There was a huge backlash to her inclusion in this game. A lot of people didn't like her, and she's not very story relevant. So I don't feel like she has a great chance of coming back. Not saying it's impossible, but considering that she's one of the least liked characters in this franchise, I don't think she's coming back. Okay, Lily's in, Lars is in, Xiaoyu's in, Jack's in, Lee's in, Kuma's in. I'm surprised Miguel is not in Tekken 8 right now. I feel like he should come back as DLC. I think he's got a pretty decent chance. A lot of people want him, and he does have a lot of story relevance, but it seems like they kept him out because they're trying to make Jin be a good guy, and it's like, oh wait, didn't he kill Miguel's sister? And it's like, oh yeah, we're not going to mention that because, you know, we're supposed to like him now. Tekken 6 story was so weird. Julia, Anna, Dr. Muscovitz, Alex, Roger, Angel, possibly Mokujin. Oh, see, here's the thing with Mokujin. They cannot charge for him because he's just a clone character. Like, you pick him and he does a random character's moveset. They cannot charge for him because that's a waste of money and, like, a character slot. If he's going to in, he's got to be added in for free, which is possible. Tekken's done that before. So that's the only way Mokujin's getting in. Yeah, I'm surprised Roger and Alex are not in this game and not in Tekken 8 yet. I guess because they have no story relevance. And I guess they're not the most popular characters in the world, but it's possible. Who knows? Might be a little nostalgia trip for some people. Angel, here's the thing about Angel. Angel hasn't shown up since Tekken Tag 2, and before that, it wasn't since, like, what, Tekken 2 or something? Or Tekken Tag, the original Tekken Tag, which the Tekken Tag games are non-canon. So is Angel even canon? That's the thing. People have always questioned, is Angel canon? Or is it just a clone of Devil, you know? I don't know. It's weird. Yes, Harada did say Heihachi died, but let's face it, nobody really dies in video games. So many characters have died in other franchises like Mortal Kombat and all that stuff. Hey, and, you know, that's the thing. Harada says he died, the game says he doesn't. That's why I'm like, I don't know, man. I know what Harada said, but the game is saying otherwise. I think they're just leaving the door open. Honestly, I respect Harada's decision for killing him off and wanting to keep him dead. The problem is Harada doesn't always have final say. One of the reasons Tekken 6's story was so weird was because Harada wanted Jin to be one thing, but the team wanted Jin to be another. That's why he's got this weird, he's a bad guy and now he's a good guy kind of thing, because Harada and the team could not decide what they wanted Jin to be. So it's not like Harada has the final say on everything. All right, going back to Miguel, I think he is going to come back. I think he has a good shot of coming back. They're just going to bring him back after the... He's actually the perfect DLC character because they want to forget his story like relevance, but all the DLC characters really don't have anything to do with the story because they're added later. So it's like, okay, now we can play as him because we don't care about the story anymore, you know? I don't know. I think Miguel is going to be destined to be a DLC character if they really don't want to do his story anymore. Like, they're just going to drop his story because of this whole Jin thing. So he might be a DLC destined character, much like Anna. Okay, Bob, we already kind of talked about. I feel like he can come back in DLC. He doesn't seem to have any story relevance. Even in this game, he had, like, no story relevance. So I feel like he is one of the DLC fodder characters. Because even though he's only been in the franchise starting with Tekken 6, he made a huge impact because he was, like, the best character in Tekken 6 in the competitive scene. So he made a big splash, and a lot of people do play him because of that. So I do think he has a good chance of coming back. Okay, Brian's in, King's in, Steve's in. Paul's in. Josie. So I feel like Bruce has a better chance of coming back than Josie. Josie was basically the Bruce replacement because their moveset's very similar. But a lot of people seem to like Bruce over Josie. So I think while it's possible Josie could come back, I feel like Bruce is the one everyone wants. And it's really up to the team who they want to bring back, either Josie or Bruce. Okay. Katarina. I don't think she has that huge of a chance coming back. She was just new in this game. And didn't really seem to have any story relevance, and she didn't seem like a hugely popular character in terms of both her character and in people playing her. So I feel like, again, not impossible, but I feel like there's a ton of other characters they could put in before her. Okay, Jin's in, Delusion's there. The funny thing is, I didn't expect Claudio to come back. I honestly didn't. Like, if you had told me, who do you think from Tekken 7 is going to be cut, I would have said Claudio. But no, he came back. Gigas. I don't know if he's coming back. I think they would put Murdoch in before Gigas. Because Murdoch's a legacy character, and I feel like he would generate more buzz. Like, if they announced Gigas as a DLC character, everyone would be like, who cares? But if they did Murdoch, it's like, oh, okay, Murdoch, yeah, that's cool, Because, that's the thing about being a legacy character. You have more people that know you. And wasn't Gigas, like, said to be, like, the worst character in this game? Like, in a competitive sense. So, nobody played him. Yeah. So, Asuka's in, Elisa's in, Leo's in, Fang's in, and Eddie's the first DLC character. And, of course, Panda's in. So, yeah. And the funny thing is, there's still so many other Tekken characters that didn't get into this game that could get added into 8, Because Tekken just has such a huge roster. One thing else he said, Dr. Boskanovich, yeah, he hasn't been in a game. He was in Tekken Tag 2. He was added in for free. That's what I mean when I said they have added characters in for free. So who knows? Some people want him back. Some don't really care. Some people don't even know who he is. But who knows? They a wild card. Who knows? Now, here's a fun question for everybody. What kind of guest characters do you think they're going to put in? I was really surprised they did not have a guest character set and ready to go for the base roster. In this game, they had Akuma, and then Noctis was like, and Geese were pretty quick after it. In fact, how quick was Noctis? I think Noctis was really quick. And then they added Negan, which is one of the most random things in the world. So that really shows that anybody can get into Tekken. So who do you think is going to be a guest character? I have no idea. These guest characters in Tekken come out of nowhere. Like, if you told me, hey, who's going to be in Tekken 7, I would have never guessed Noctis or Negan. Geese, I could see, because that's another fighting game character. Like, people love fighting game crossovers. So, I'm not sure if I would have said Geese first, if I had to choose a Fatal Fury or King of Fighters. I honestly would have said Terry Bogard, but he got into Smash. So, they got Geese. Goku or Vegeta. That would be hilarious. Everyone wanted Goku in Smash. Imagine if they just Tekken swooped in and got Goku for Tekken. Oh, man. I'm not going to say it can't happen, because after freaking Negan, like, anything is possible. That is so random. But yeah. I'm trying to think. No Dragon Ball character has ever gotten to a fighting game outside of mods and, the Dragon Ball fighting games, obviously. So yeah, that's never happened before, so who knows? But a lot of people, I remember when Tekken 7 was around, everybody wanted, what's his name, Kiryu from Yakuza series. Yeah, he'd fit in. I could see him fitting in Tekken. But as far as, who knows what they have planned? Who knows what Harada is cooking? You just never know. Anyway, that's my thought on who I think could possibly get into Tekken 8. And as far as everybody else, I feel like everybody has a chance. Unlike Smash, where it had to be a video game character, because that's Smash's whole thing. It's a celebration of video game characters. Tekken does not care. As we saw with Negan, they do not care. It could be anybody. Nobody is off the table. So that makes it exciting. I'll tell you what. We'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, I'm really surprised they did not have one ready to go to stir up some interest. Once I found out that the base roster didn't have a guest character, I was like, okay, the first DLC character has to be a guest character. But no, it was Eddie. So I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe it's going to be, if my prediction is wrong on that, then my next prediction is the guest character is going to be the last character revealed in the season pass. So there's 4 characters. My guess is We have Eddie, that's a legacy character. We're going to have one more legacy character, a newcomer, and a guest character. That's my prediction. We'll see what happens.